All right, guys, welcome back to Tracy's Rhythmic Life. Today, I will be doing a continuation of my garden reset. Today, I will be actually using my soldering iron, putting holes in some planters that I will be when I get ready to plant my potatoes and my ginger. And probably I think I have 4 of those big blue barrels. So I'm gonna let this heat up. But for the time being, we're gonna take a stroll out here in the garden. I don't have my little red resting thing where I can put this on. I can't find it right now. So I'm gonna just let this sit and heat up. There we go, that's a good spot there. We're gonna take a stroll out here in the garden. All right, guys, we're gonna take a trip out here in the garden area so I can get these blue barrels or blue buckets that I can start putting these holes in. All right, let me turn the camera around right quick. All right, friends, these are the blue barrels that I'm talking about. One of them already has some holes in them, but I have this one, and I should have 2 more. Well, I have them up here on top of the pit here. I should have at least 5 of these. But today I'm gonna put the holes in these, and then this little leaf pile that I have here, I will be placing some of those in these buckets here. So good thing I did not burn these as I planned on earlier. But yeah, let me go back up. I think my soldering iron has heated up some. So we're gonna go ahead on and place some holes in these, melt some holes in these for drainage. All right, guys, let's go back up top. All right, guys, I do have 5 of these. I had 3 up top here and 2 out in the garden area. And these are 17-gallon buckets here. And it already has the little, whatever you call these, where you can drain your holes, but I may put more than just these 3. All right, guys, so my soldering iron is heated up. So I have 5 holes in these, 6 and 7. All right, guys. All right, if you can see that, I have 7 holes in these. And you want a good size hole in these for good drainage. And again, I will be using these for my potatoes and my garlic. Not my garlic, my ginger. I'm sorry, my ginger. I already have my garlic out. Now, when you are planting potatoes and ginger and garlic, you kind of want to separate those from the area of the garden because they take so long before they are ready to harvest. Because they take anywhere from 6, 7 months, 8, some maybe 9 months before they are ready to harvest. So you kind of want those in an area that is separate from your other vegetables in the garden, so you can have a chance to plant other vegetables in the garden as well, without having to, with these being in the garden and you can't, you know, up pot these. All right, guys, I have 2 more to do. I'll bring you back as soon as I'm done with these. All right, guys, I have all my buckets completed now, and we're gonna take these back out there where my leaf pile is. I'm gonna let this cool off so I can take it back inside, and we're gonna go ahead on and start placing the leaf pile in the bottom of some of the containers. All right, guys, I have brought out 2 of the blue barrels here, and what I have done was my video cut off and it was not recording. So in these buckets I have white russet potatoes that I have seeded out, and they have begun to gain some eyes, and I have the red potatoes. Those I just purchased those from the big box store, and they're already seed potatoes. So what I have done is I placed some of my leaf pile in the bottom of these containers here, and if you notice, I did not fill it up. I'm leaving it at the bottom level, and then on top of those I will be placing some soil, just some regular old soil, and I will only fertilize that soil just a tad bit. And once I plant these potatoes in here, what I'm going to do is, as the potatoes starts to grow their leaves or stems, and I will continue to keep adding more soil on top of it until it gets kind of full or almost full, and that way, in hopes of getting some more potatoes. But yeah, guys, this is part of my garden reset, and we will come back for another task. All right, guys, guess what? I'm getting ready to plant my potatoes. I have the white Idaho potatoes. These are the ones that I let go to seed here, and I cut some of them in half or in thirds, and I let the potatoes heal. And I have my red potatoes. Now I just purchased these from Walmart, the already seeded ones, but my Idaho white potatoes, I just let these go to seed on their own, and once they gave some eyes, I kind of separated them and let this part right here heal. So I have y'all excuse me because I have a little cold, but the noise in the background, hubby is plowing the garden. I have taken my my barrels here. I have some leaves at the bottom. If you've seen a previous video where I took some of those leaf piles, I placed them at the bottom, and then now I have placed some soil on top of that. I probably kind of put a little too much soil, but I think it'll be okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these potatoes. One will have the white one and one will have the red potato. So I'm gonna place potatoes in here, and I've also fertilized this as well. I just used a granular fertilizer. So I'm taking it where the eyes would be placed up in an upward position. Since this is a large size container here, let's see, I put one in the middle here. I'll place one here and one here. Now I will go back and place a little soil over the top of this, and I will do the same thing for this one as well. Only thing is, these right here will be whole. I will place a little soil over this, and I'll water it down And as the potatoes begin to grow stems, I will add another layer of soil on top of those. But I will bring you back for another video as the leaves starts growing stems, as the potatoes start growing stems, and I recover and relayer with more soil. Now I do have a few more potatoes, white potatoes in the house that I can add another bucket, but what I may do is I will take those. Once I have to add some more soil, I'll add some more of those potatoes and just keep layering it on top until I'm gonna fill the bucket up. All right, guys, I'm just taking some soil out of one of my grow bags that I'm not using anymore, that's empty, and I'm just gonna place just a little soil to cover the top. There we go. And that's it. And this process is called healing. So once again, as the stems begin to grow, I will place some more soil on top and continue that process until I get to the top of this here. And I'm gonna do the same thing for these red potatoes. All right, friends, that is it for me planting out my potatoes. And I will see you all on my next video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.